So in the last class, that is in the demo session, we have seen the introduction for C programming. So C language, it's a computer programming language. And when we say computer programming language, we use it for interacting with computer. To interact or communicate with computer, we will be using programming languages, computer programming languages. So there are many different computer programming languages like C, C++, Java, and many more. So C language is one of the computer programming languages which is used for communicating with computer. And how we communicate is by writing the computer programs. So we write computer programs using the programming language. And computer programs are nothing but they are instructions given to computer. So instructions we will be giving to computer in the form of computer programs. So how we write computer program is using programming language, and every programming language will be having its own rules and restrictions, which we can also call as syntax. So according to those rules, every language will have its own rules. So according to whatever language you are using, that rules we need to follow for writing that particular language code. So programming language is used for writing computer programs, and by following its rules and restrictions, that is syntax, we write the program. And whatever program we write, whatever computer program we write, that is human understandable, but it cannot be directly understood by computer cannot understand directly the computer program which we write. So for the computer to understand computer program, it must be in binary language, because binary language is the language of computer. So computer is digital electronic machine. So because it is digital, every digital device will be following this binary language, which is a digital language also called as machine language. So binary language uses 0 or 1, only 2 digit it will use to represent any instruction. So when we are using binary language, there are only 2 digits in the binary language which are used for representing any instruction. So in that binary language, instructions are stored in bytes. So they are in bytes. 1 byte equal to 8 bits, and each bit can be either 0 or 1. So combination of 8 bits is 1 byte. So in the form of bytes, the instructions are stored. And for the computer to understand our program, it should be translated into machine language, which is done by a compiler program. So compiler is a software program that translates high level language or mid level language program to machine language. So C language program, after we write, it is compiled and translated to machine language or binary language, and then the computer can understand it, and it executes or runs it and gives you the output or result. So C language program, human understandable format, and it should be translated to machine or binary language for computer to understand. And C language software, whenever we install, it contains a editor where we write the program, where we edit the program, plus it contains a compiler. So this compiler translates and verifies our C program. Verifies, and if any errors or mistakes are there, it gives you those errors or warnings after compiling. So we write C language program, it is compiled and linked, and then it produces the executable file which is ready for execution or running, and uh, it is then loaded into memory, and our system will run and give the output. And whenever we write a program, it contains two things: data, function. So data is nothing but the values. The values which we use in our program is called data, and function is nothing but the logic which we write to perform some task. So it is written in the form of like module, like it is set of statements or block of statements, which is written in the form of module, and it is given a name, and by that name any number of times we can call it and execute it in our program. So we write block of statements, give it a name, and with that name we can call this function which contains set of statements, and we can execute it any number of times whenever we want according to requirement in program. So function is just set of statements which when executed will perform some task. So according to our task or work, we can write the logic. So the logic can be operations on data, it can be any printing statements or anything according to our program requirement. Then functions are used for uh, organizing the C program. So if we are writing suppose 100 lines of code in a C program, then if we write all together, it will be confusing and we cannot understand what lines are meant for what purpose. So we will be dividing that code into parts, and which line is required for means suppose we are doing addition, multiplication and subtraction in a single program, then if we write all the code in single block it will be confusing. We will be separating the addition related code as under add name, we will be separating the subtraction related under subtraction function. Like that we can divide into parts the C program, so that we can give it a name category wise, we can give a name to the function, and under that function we can keep that suitable code. So it will be making the program easy for understanding, also for reading also. If you give that program to some other user, if that user is reading, it will be easy to understand for that user also if it is properly organized. So C programs are organized using functions. So C is structured oriented language. We call it structure oriented language because it structures the program using functions. That means it organizes or provides modularity to the program using functions. Then program contains data and function. Data values used in program called data. Set of statements returned to perform some task is function. Now, example we have seen for data, like suppose we have some values, then those values are not directly written as it is. They are given a name. Like here we have given A, B, C for values 25, 35 and 45 respectively. And what type of data we are using, that type also we mention. So int is here for integer values. Integers are nothing but the whole numbers. Whole numbers which will not contain decimal point. So int is the predefined data type in C programming, which is used for integer values, that is for whole numbers, which will not contain any decimal points, that is point in the number. So here data type and the ABC here are called data identifiers. To identify these data values, we provide a name, and that name is called either variable we can call it or data identifier. So to identify data, we are giving a name, we are naming them. And then 25, 35, 45 are data values. So here, if you want to perform operation like addition on these values, then you can do, you cannot directly write 25 plus 35 plus 45. You need to use this variables or data names, data identifiers, so that you can properly write it like a logic. So here we have used a function add function, under which we have written these lines. So to write a function, the rule is we write return type, we write function name, and then in the parenthesis, in the brackets, we write parameters, and then we open the function with curly bracket, close the function with another curly bracket. Within the block we write the statements. Within this curly brackets, we write the statements. It can be a single statement or we can write multiple or block of statements. So these statements or block of statements are given a name according to what category of statements or for what purpose we are using these statements. According to that purpose, we give a suitable name for this function, and these parameters are nothing but from here we will be passing the user input. If we want to give any values which we want to substitute here, that we can give from this place. So return type is result type. After executing these statements, if the function wants to give some result, then return type is used. So that about that we will be seeing later. So here I have used void add. Add here is the name of function. Now int d, the fourth variable I have declared, fourth data identifier of type integer only I have taken, into which I am taking the addition of a, b and c. So of these three values, a is 25, b is 35, c is 45. So we are adding all these three and then printing d. So for printing purpose, we use printf and then we print the variable. So not in this way. We have some rule for writing. I just casually wrote like this. So this is a function where we are adding. Similarly, suppose we have subtraction operation to do, then we can write another function, name it as subtraction, and then subtraction related code in that we can write. So we can categorize our program code into modules and give a suitable name. So this is how function is written. So whatever code you write, whatever statements you are writing for execution, compulsory that must be written within a function. Inside the function only we write them, except the data declarations. So if any data is there, like here int a, all this you can write within function also, outside function also. But any code which has to be executed like this statements, compulsory must be written within function only. Then C language, it is structured oriented language. Founder of C language is Dennis M. Ritchie. Dennis M. Ritchie has developed C language in the year 1972 at Bell Laboratories. And then, so see, there are different C softwares available. So code blocks, Dev C++ ID, Turbo C or C++. So these all, any of the software you can install according to your system. And after installation, if you want to write a program, then that program is developed using 4 steps. So first step is editing or writing the program. So editing or writing is when you open the software, you will open a file first, a new file. And when you open the file, a screen will appear, a window will appear where you can write your program. And then you write your program. If any mistakes, you can edit the program also. And you will save that file with .c extension. So you can write or edit your program in that file, and when you save it with .c extension, that file will be called as source file, and this source file will be having .c extension. So
Ma'am,
this, yeah, tell me.
can I interrupt you?
Yes, tell me.
Ma'am, which
Mhm.
software should we use for the C language?
So I will be using in course Dev C++ IDE.
C++.
So
Okay, ma'am.
yeah, in this you can execute C and C++ both.
So
Yeah.
basically, also, ma'am, like how to practice like some questions and all.
Yes, I'll be giving you for every class, like practically completely it will be
Okay, ma'am.
all the classes. Like theory, I will be explaining topic wise, plus practical we will be having related to that theory. So
Ma'am,
daily
how?
I will be,
Yes, ma'am. Ma'am, please continue.
daily I will be sending you the notes, whatever we will be learning in the class, the theory plus whatever programs we do, that programs also I'll paste in the document and send you daily, day wise.
Ma'am, it will cover the written exams also, like some of the written exams which are having C.
Written exam is not there. The syllabus I'll show you.
Okay, ma'am.
So written exam and all will not be there. If you are interested, I can send you the assignment questions. You can solve them. If you are not getting, I can give you the answer like that. So this is your syllabus for 30 days. 25 to 30 days it will take. So like basic things, basic terms you will be having, tokens, keywords and all. The program format and some more basic example programs, data types, variables and all, constants and this, control statements, operators, pointers, arrays, strings, functions, recursion and all. This memory management, process, preprocessor directive, structure union and file handling. So all this will be covered under, yes, that will be covered. Malloc, Kellogg, dynamic.
Actually, ma'am, this is my,
Yeah,
I'm having a written exam where 10% of C language is coming. So these are the topics they ask me generally from the, like mostly pointers and arithmetic mixture of both, array pointer mix like.
like separate syllabus if you want, then separately you need to join. But all these topics will be covered like pointers and pointer arithmetic. Arrays you will be having, control flow means control statements, all this,
Okay,
looping
ma'am.
and all. Operator precedence, bitwise operators will come under that. Structure union, size of operator, recursion, function calls. All these are covered, but
Okay, ma'am.
still if separate topics means separate course you need to take, because in this course these topics will be covered like that.
Ma'am, what is not there in this?
In this padding I have not covered, just we'll see in the course.
This is the least. This is the least one. Of starting priority is this one. 20-25% is above there only.
Yes, yes.
Pointers,
Almost all
malloc.
topics are covered, yeah. Malloc Kellogg is dynamic memory allocation.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you.
So so these are the topics which we are going to cover in the course. So I am just today, yesterday also just introduction. We are in just introduction where we are seeing only theory. So last class yesterday, we have seen just what are the development steps. So in the first step, source file is generated. Second step, compiling means internally the program when we compile, it is converted to object file. That means it is translating the C program to machine code, that is binary language, and it will check also for errors. And if any errors, it will give you the error log or warnings. And the file will be translated to object file which contains .obj extension. So after compilation, object file is created. And then linking, if any header files you are adding to your program, header files are nothing but that contains predefined functions or code. So according to requirement, we can add the header files to our program. So stdio.h is one of the header files which contains printf and scanf, the basic output and input functions. So the basic output function is printf, which is supposed to print on output screen. So to print on output screen, we use printf, which is present in stdio.h header file. Header files are present in C library. C library, when we install the software along with compiler and the editor, the C library is also there with the software. So this C library contains all the library functions or the header files, which will contain all the functions, predefined functions, which are already defined and kept within the header files. So according to what function we require in the program, according to that, the header file is added. So to all the C programs, we will be adding this stdio.h, almost all the computer C programs, sorry. So Whenever we use printf and scanf, we need to compulsory add this stdio.h. In case if you are not using this printf scanf, then only you can skip this header file and we can add some other header file. Then after this linking, where the header files are linked to our program, these header files are added to our program, it will generate then the executable file .exe file, which is ready for execution or running the program. So after this is created, it gets loaded into memory, then program is, when we run the program, it gives you the result. So till here we have seen yesterday. Also we have seen a very basic program where the first line always will be the preprocessor directive. So preprocessor directive is the statement which starts with hash symbol, and whenever we write these preprocessor directives, they are processed before this main function. So main is one of the function which has to be compulsory present in almost all the C programs, and it is whenever we execute C program, the compiler will search for main, and whatever present in main, only those statements will get executed. So all other user defined functions which we are writing, like add, subtract, and etc etc. So whatever user defined functions we write, those will not get executed unless and until we call them in main. So how to do that we will be seeing later. So here main function is the starting point of execution. From here execution of program starts, from this bracket till this bracket. So whatever present within this brackets, only that gets executed. And preprocessor directive means they are processed before the main function. Before main executes, these are processed. Processed means if any header files are mentioned here, they are linked to the main function. So these header files, after linking to main function, then only this main can use this. So after linking, only execution of these printf, scanf, and all will happen. So based on the requirement of functions, predefined functions, we include the header files. So in this program, we have nothing, just two lines. Like first line is preprocessor directive, where we are including standard input output header file. Then we have the main function. Void means empty, no result set. Main is the name of function, default name for the starting point of execution. Because it is a function, for writing parameters, we write this parenthesis. So parenthesis empty, there are no parameters. And opening main with curly bracket, closing main with curly bracket. Within main, we have the printf, the standard output function, which will print the string, whatever in double quotations we give, that is printed on output screen. So here we have given hi, so hi will be printed on output screen. So like this, so output you will be getting hi, and if you are giving welcome, welcome will be printed. So I have changed to welcome later, so that we got welcome output. So today, so we have seen the very basic program. Now we will see how to use data in the program. So as we start the program with hash include stdio dot h. So this is the basic, this is the preprocessor directive which will be adding standard input output header file. Then void main. Void is a keyword. Keyword means predefined word, already present reserved word. So all the keywords will contain all lowercase letters, no uppercase letter in them. Then main is the function, default name for the function is main, open main, close main. Now suppose here you want to have data, some data you want to use, like ID you want, and value of ID you want to give 90. So now type also you need to give. ID is the variable or name for the data value 90. 90 is the data value and name given to 90 is ID. And what type of data value we are using here is integer. So int is also a predefined word already present with compiler. So it also should have all lowercase letters. So this is a program where we are declaring data value or variable ID. ID is called variable, 90 is called data value, int is called data type. Int here is the data type. What type of data using in program, that is int. Then if you want to print it, you will be using printf, open bracket, close bracket. Within printf, you will be writing double quotes. So whatever in double quotes, only that gets printed. ID is. Now ID is, if you write ID, again it will print ID is ID. So you want the value 90 here. ID is 90. But in double quotations, there can be only text data. Within double quotations, there can be only text data. If you want to combine the text data with value, that is variable value or data value, then that data value name, variable name, you need to write separately. But what type of data you want to combine within this string or text, you will be mentioning. So our type is integer. The data type we are using is integer. We want to combine this integer within this text. So this is text, ID is text. Whatever we write within double quotations is text type of data. In that, if you want to combine some other data type, that type you should mention. Wherever you want to write that type of data, you need to mention the format of that type. So for that, we use format specifier. Format specifier in C language we use to mention the format of data uh, which you want to have in your output screen. So for integer, we have percentile D. Percentile D is used for integer as format specifier when you want to combine that integer data within a string. So ID is percentile D. In place of percentile D, you can have some integer value. In this place, you can substitute some integer value. So what value you want to substitute here, that you will be writing after comma. So comma you will write, and then the variable name ID. So ID is, and in this place of percentile D, the value of ID will be substituted. So ID is here the variable name, the variable value, whatever value is present within this ID, it is of type integer. So it will be substituted in this place, in the percentile D place. So, and then this is a statement which is a executable statement. So it should end with compulsory semicolon. So each and every statement which is written within function must end with semicolon compulsory. So the any executable statement must end with semicolon. So we have we have declared here ID and given value 90, and we are printing it. So if we do this, so in dev C++, I'm just opening the existing file. So here, like last class, we have done this program. When we compile, it will check, it will translate it, check for errors, and give you in compile log the errors or warnings. So 0 errors, warnings. And if you want to run, you can just click on run or press F10. So it will give you the output. This window which we are getting is called console window. So this is like output window. And if
Ma'am,
you want, yeah, tell me.
ma'am, in this Dev C++, this
Hmm.
software, how to like write the code? Like we have to have a new window, like or new
Yes,
project.
yes. New project means you can store multiple files in that project. You
Okay.
can just click new and source file. Single file will open like this.
Ma'am, but it will be of C or C++.
No, you need while saving, you will be saving it as C or C++. Here you will be having.
Okay, dot C. Okay, ma'am.
Yeah, dot C.
Thank you.
So here I'm pasting the same program here where we have declared the ID declared and ID printed. So if I compile, if any errors, it will give here. And if I run, I get the output. That is ID is 90. So it is. So ID is 90. If whatever value we give here, that value is printed. So now 50 I gave, ID is 50. Whatever we write here, that is printed. Like if I write student ID is percentile D, then student ID is 50. Suppose I have one more ID like ID1 equal to 78. So here ID is 50. Let's take this ID1 and this ID2. So ID2 here, whatever I write, that is printed here. So ID1 I have written, compile and run. 50 I got, 78 I did not get. Now if I write ID2, 78 I got. So whatever variable name you are writing here, that value will be substituted in place of percentile D. So student ID is percentile D is format specifier for integer and ID2 is printed in place of percentile D. So whatever you want to substitute here, whatever value you want to substitute here in this ID percentile D place, that variable name you will be giving here. So like that we use the data in a C program. Then other than this, some basic terms. So like basic terms. So output for this is like ID is 90. So this will be the
Ma'am,
output for program. Yeah, tell me.
ma'am, while we are like doing this code,
Hmm.
the return value is 16. It is coming, ma'am.
Yeah, return value.
Yes, ma'am.
Return value means you are returning anything using the
Ma'am, in
program.
console, as it is, I have written as you told.
Yeah, yeah. Whatever you have written, that value we will be getting. I'm not getting you. Like where you are saying?
Ma'am, in the console, like in my console, student ID is 50 came, and process exited after this much seconds, 0.3 with
Yes,
return
yes.
value 16.
Yeah, that is not with return value
Yes,
8
ma'am.
like
Yes, ma'am.
this.
What
This
is that?
is that is nothing. After execution, it will give you. That is not about the program.
It's garbage value.
Yeah. So it's like how many seconds are taken for execution and all. So
Okay, so
others
this
you
is
can.
not this return value is not of the function which we are
No,
writing.
no, no. These are
Okay,
not at all related to code. Only this
okay,
much. Before this line, whatever you get, that only is related to the program.
okay.
Okay. So this was a program where we have used two variables, ID1 and ID2. Okay, then some basic terms we will use here. So one example for today. So in the class, we will be seeing many examples like when we start the topics. So the first example in last class was the basic program where we have printed a string like hello or welcome something. And this is second example where we have used a variable of type int. So here we are printing variable of type integer. So basic terms, we will be seeing some basic terms like Dev C++ IDE and versions like latest version, if it is suitable for your system, you can download. So whichever version is suitable, that you can install. So yeah. So basic terminology in C programming, we have token, we have comment, which we use as the basic terms while writing code. So comments, then keywords, then data type, then we use operator, we use variable. So all these are the basic terms which we use while writing the code. We write function, we use function, the term. So token, when we say token, every small unit that builds the C program, every small unit that builds C program is called token. And it will include the identifiers, that is the names which we are giving to functions or data or anything, the variables, the operators, the operators. Operators are nothing but the symbols, plus, minus, like that, different categories of operators we have in C. So all those symbols will be called as token if used in program. Separators are like comma, semicolon, the brackets, parenthesis or curly brackets or square brackets. So whatever brackets or separators to separate anything, if we are using any separator, that will be called as separator. So identifiers, variables, operators, separators, keywords. Keywords are predefined words which are already present with the compiler and we cannot change its spelling or meaning. So there are some predefined 32 keywords present with C. So they can be directly used in program, but we cannot change its spelling or meaning. So those, they are all called as tokens. So when used in program, these identifiers, variables, operators, separators, keywords, and also constants or literals. Constants are fixed values. Constants are fixed values, and literals are the values which we write on right hand side, which are assigned to the left hand side. Literals can be of different types, again according to whatever data type you are using, that type of literal. So right hand side values which are assigned to LHS, the variables, are called literals. So constants, literals, all these will be called as tokens because all these will make up your or build your program. So the every small unit that builds a C program will be called as token. Next is comments. Comments in C program used for providing description or describing your code. Used for describing code. So which line is meant for what purpose, for what uh, task you are using, which line or block of code, or what is your program about, all that you will be describing by writing comment. So comment can use for describing code or providing description to your program, or for documentation, for documenting your code, we use comments. Comments, two types of comments we have in C, single line and multi-line or block comments. So single line or multiple line comments. In case of single line, the comment starts with two slashes. In case of multi-line, it starts with slash and star, that is asterisk symbol, slash and asterisk symbol. You write the comments and then you will be ending again with star and slash. So whatever is in between will be multiple lines here. And here single line you will be writing, and it will be commenting only up to single line. Again in the next line, if you write something that is not commented. So when we write comment, it will not come under code. It is not considered as code. So comments not considered as code. They are not executed. So that is, they are not executed and they are ignored by compiler. So comments for describing the code we use. Then we have keywords. So keywords, there are 32 keywords present. There are 32 keywords in C programming. And keywords are reserved words, reserved or predefined words which cannot be modified by user. So user cannot modify the user or programmer cannot modify the keywords. Their spelling and meaning will be fixed. So keywords, reserved or predefined words, its spelling or meaning is fixed. And there are some 32 keywords in C programming. Example, some of them are like all the data types are keywords. So int, we have float, we have double, and then like void is also one of the data type. So which we is used as return type of function. Void, and then we have if, we have else, we have switch. So all words which are as it is used are keywords, and they will have some meaning while we use it in code. And all the letters in keywords must be in small letters, that is lowercase letters. So these are some of the keywords. There are 32 altogether. So next, data type. Data type, again, these are predefined words that are used to define what type of data is used in program. So the type of data we use in program, like it can be a data which is held in variable, or it can be data returned by a function. So whatever data we are using in the program, to give the type, to mention the type, we use data types of C language. So in C, the very basic data types are int, float, double, and char. These are the data types of C programming. And then operator. Operator is nothing but symbol. It is a symbol that is used for performing operation on variables or data used in program. So symbol that is used to perform operation on data. The data can be held in a variable or in like arrays or in whichever form the data is. If you want to perform operation on that, you will be using different symbols provided by C, which are operators in the form of operators. So they are used to perform operation on data. These are the symbols which are used to perform operation on data. So there are different categories of operators like arithmetic operators, assignment operators, comparison, logical, unary, bitwise, and all. So some of the examples here, like we have plus, the basic one, minus, divide, multiplication, modulus, and greater than equal to, or not equal to, or and operator, logical operator, or operator. So all these are the operators in C programming, etc. And then the variable, as already we have seen, it is identifier of data value. So whatever data we are using in the program, to identify that data we use variables. So these are nothing but, in simple we can say, data identifiers. And correctly, if we want to understand what is variable, then it is name given to memory, name given to memory location. So it is name given to memory location where the data value is stored. Like we have used int id equal to some 90, something like this. So when we write int id equal to 90, when we write int id equal to 90, then there will be a memory location by name id, and which will be storing the data value as 90. And the type of memory location will be, so memory location will be storing 90. Name of the location will be, name of the location will be id, and type of location is int. So whenever we are using some type, some data type, then that type is used for giving the size. Like if it is for integer or int, it will be occupying 4 bytes of data, bytes of memory. So the size of each data type will be different. So accordingly, the memory size will be allotted to the variable, and that variable will be holding that particular value, whatever we are assigning to it. So it is this variable, id is here variable. Variable is name given to memory location where the data value is stored. So 90 is the data value, name of the memory location is id, and it is of type integer, int. So that is variable. So in simple, we can understand it like it is data identifier. And then function. Function is block of set of statements or block of statements written as module, set of statements which when executed will perform some task. So they
Ma'am,
are written, yeah, written as, tell me.
ma'am, in integer, basically, the sizes of 2 bytes or 4 bytes.
2 bytes, 2 bytes or 4 bytes, 2 to 4. Again, it like in old compilers, it was 2 bytes. Now it is 4 bytes in new
Ma'am, if a
versions.
question comes, then what we have to take?
I didn't get you. Again, repeat.
If a question comes like regarding this, then
Like a short integer, again, you will be having in detail under data type. So short integer means the minimum size is 2 bytes. Otherwise, the maximum size for integer is 4 bytes. Long integer will be 4 bytes. Short will be 2 bytes, like that you can say.
oh, okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. So function, set of statements written as module. So these are executable statements, set of executable statements written as module, and they are used for providing modularity to the program. Like they are written as module, given a name, suitable name according to our logic, and when executed will perform some will perform specific task, like whatever you are specifying, whatever task you want it to perform, that task it will be performing. So function, set of executable statements written as module, given a name to identify it or given an identifier, and when executed will perform some task. So how to write function and all, separately we have a detailed topic which later we will be seeing. So functions, variables, operators, data types, all these very basic things. Each topic in detail we have separately. Tokens, comments. So these are the basic topics or introduction for C. So for each topic we have a program. So for today I will end here. Any doubts? Yeah, anybody, any doubts related to topics or anything? Course clear for everyone? Understood the things today?
Ma'am, how many days it will go?
Like 30, max 30. Because only the topics which I have shown you in the syllabus that I will be covering.
Okay, ma'am.
Okay.
Any practice questions would you suggest?
Yes,
Practice,
yes. Assignment questions, like if you want device, I will give you three or four
ma'am, so
based
that
on
practice can be
topics.
happened.
Yeah,
Yes, ma'am.
yes, I'll be giving you. Okay, so for today I will end here. Tomorrow same time you can join. And day wise you will be getting notes and also the programs topic wise. Also, if you want, if you are interested, assignment questions, I will be sending you 3 to 4 assignment questions based on everyday topic, and completely practical, plus wherever theory required, that theory like how I'm teaching in last class and today's, that much theory plus mostly practical it will be, the complete course. So if any doubts, you can refer these things, videos, and ask me tomorrow. Tomorrow same time I'll be joining. Okay, then I'll stop here. Thanks for attending. Bye. Thanks.